Hi, my name is Kunal Avanti and you're watching me on MissMalini.com. I wrote my first song when I was 15. It was actually a tribute to Mother Teresa when she passed, and it was horrible. I mean, obviously the intention was great, but that's the first song I ever wrote. I can't remember the words, and even if I did, I wouldn't sing them, because when you're writing at 16, it's a whole new world. But it was basically about how much she had helped the world and how people all around her, how inspired they were, and how people should act a little bit more like her and try to make it. That was pretty much the gist of it. Internationally, I'd say there's a bunch of them, but Wyclef Jean, Usher, Kanye West. These guys are doing something new with music. They're taking hip hop and funk to the next level. They're experimenting, pushing boundaries. So I think that's something that I'd like to be associated with. There's some artists that I'd like to be associated with, do some work with. Here, there's just so many, but obviously AR Rahman would be. I was lucky enough to perform with him in his last concert at DY Patil. We did this song called Chaiya Chaiya, which I grew up listening to, which is a really, really big song. It's a classic. So Ranjit Barrett, who's this drumming maestro legend in himself, an incredible producer and arranger. He gave me the opportunity. Basically, he called on me and he said, okay, AR Rahman's doing a concert, and we want you to do a song with him. So that worked out really well. I'm also working on a collaboration at the moment called Blinding Lights with Ranjit Barrett himself. So that should be interesting. In the next 2 months, that should be out. That's the next big song. I've always liked Adnan Sami. Adnan Sami has this really great vibe, and he does some really good music, some great melodies, some beautiful compositions. I like his music. AR Rahman, Ranjit Barrett. That's pretty much it. That's on the list for now. Myself, Network Privé, obviously. We've got about 8 tracks ready. We've been approached by a few people already to do something with these tracks, but I think instead of going with the record label, which really doesn't make sense for me at this point, because the kind of music that I'm doing, it's not just Hindi or Bollywood. And the Indian music scene is just so Bollywood centric right now. So what we decided to do was make a big noise the other way. It's just put the music out, make some nice videos. They don't have to be like over the top, as long as you get the message. Put the music out, put the videos out, and just make some sensible music that appeals to all ages. So that's what we're working on at the moment, and we've got about 8 or 9 tracks ready, and there's a lot of fun stuff going on besides that as well. I'm not saying that at all. I mean, Bollywood is changing again. It's not just how it used to be 20 years ago. You have all these experimental new age directors, new age music producers and stuff. So eventually, I'd love to break into Bollywood and do some music for them. Obviously, it has to be the right director. It has to be the right kind of movie, and if they obviously want someone, like me, to make music for them. So.